Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It, a show where I share my review and my opinion based on different games that I have experienced. This time, I'll be sharing my opinion on one of the games that really made me fall in love, and that is nothing else than Astro's Playroom. Late in 2020, I mentioned how my mind was blown from a game called Tearaway for the PS Vita and how creative it was. I did mention that I was going to review it for the PS4 as well, but I never published that video as my opinion remains the same. But I'm gonna make it eventually. I'm gonna publish it. Astro's Playroom is a 3D platformer developed by Japan studio Asobi team and published by Sony Interactive with the release of the next-gen console, the PS5, on November 2020. The game is pre-installed to every PS5, so the question is less like is it worth the money, but more likely is it worth the time? Well, I'm proud to say yes, freaking yes. Now, before we get into Astro's Playroom, if you've been following the news prior to the release of the PS5 or any reviews after it, everyone has been praising the PS5 controller for its features and how unique it feels. Why am I saying this? Well, the reason is because this game is the perfect way to test and feel the controller. Keep that in mind and allow me to start with the game review. Astro is a small robot that was introduced back in 2018 when Sony was publishing the VR headset. It was a nice way to introduce people to the VR and give them a nice little game. This time around, the little robot is tackling 3D platforming while showcasing the controller. The game is simple. You are introduced to a lobby called the Plaza with 6 different gates: the GPU, the SSD, cooling, speedrun, museum, and memory lanes. The 4 levels, these being the GPU, SSD, memory, and cooling, are levels that are separated in 4 different levels themselves. Here is the best part. Everywhere in the game, no matter where you are, there are different astrobots scattered everywhere. However, while you are one of these stages, there are astrobots disguised as characters from beloved Sony properties or games that had a huge impact in Sony, some being exclusives while some are not. Characters like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, the iconic Buster Sword, Spider-Man, Kratos, Dante, Aloy, the Hunter from Bloodborne, and many more that naming them alone will take more than 100 Easter eggs, and the chances are they're not even all of them. Also, these characters and Easter eggs come from all of the Sony consoles, not just the PS4 and PS1. Some are from the PS Vita, while others are from the PSP. Almost every 3D platformer has some sort of collectibles and a currency. In this game, the collectibles are obtained within the levels themselves or by the gacha machine located in the museum. Every level has a plethora of coins. These coins can be used in the gacha machine. You can collect different types of prizes. The collectibles are in the form of puzzle pieces, bots, and artifacts. Puzzle pieces, similar to all the others, are obtained within the levels and the gacha machine. Collecting them results in 2 major posters that showcase the history of Sony, from the idea of the PS1 all the way to the VR. The design of the posters are graffiti-like and they are amazing. The bot collectibles are only obtained by the gacha machine, and there are different bots next to different Sony properties. To elaborate, all of them are placed in the museum. Some of them will be observing the trophy system that was introduced in the PS3, others will look at the original Sony symbols, others will be playing the old-gen consoles, others will be testing the VR, others will be testing different games, and overall have fun with different Sony properties. Last but not least, the artifacts. Similar to the puzzles, they are gathered from levels and the gacha machine. These artifacts are centered in the middle of the museum and they are separated in 4 different square spaces. Now, you tell me, 4 spaces plus 4 different level areas, what can it be? You probably guessed it right. Each level and space represents a past-gen console, from the PS1 all the way to the PS5. Each of the artifacts are interactable and I recommend you play the game and check them out. As I just mentioned, the PS5 is also there, but how? Well, to elaborate, after cleaning all 4 levels of the past gen, the Plaza will reveal a new room where you are going down a memory lane and fight a specific boss battle to unlock the future. Honestly, the game is hitting you hard to your Sony nostalgia. If you're just like me and own almost all of the past gen consoles and play most of the game references, you'll most likely have the game on repeat. I know I did. To sum up, the museum is the room where all your unlockables will be displayed. I highly recommend you find them all. I believe it's time to break down the gameplay. Being a 3D platformer means you die from two things. One, being hit by an enemy and you are one shot, so no second chances, or fall to your doom. There's no fall damage, so don't worry about falling from a high place, just don't drop out of a playable area, aka outside the map. It also means that Astro has a few abilities to help you through the game. Astro has his normal movement, his jumping ability, extra laser boosters to help you reach higher ground or even delay your landing, and hit your enemies while your laser, aka maneuvering above them, will also lead to the enemy deaths. However, the most common way to kill enemies is by punching them, shooting them with a weapon, when you're given them of course, or even tornado punch them, which is Astro's normal attack when charged. The enemy variety is really good for a game its size. We have the normal enemies, enemies with spikes, shooters, electrical enemies, snake enemies, and many others. The boss fights are really nice. They are not over the top, but they have their own level of difficulty and uniqueness. Now here's where the tearaway comes to play. The game uses the same style of interactiveness. This means using the moving sensor of the DualShock, the touchpad, the pressure power applied to the buttons, and last but not least the blowing sensors. I will try to avoid spoilers, but trust me when I say it, the interactiveness alongside Sony's scavenger hunt make for a fantastic game. Outside of the gameplay interactiveness, the DualShock also shows its power through the movement. You can really feel it from the controller whether or not you are hovering over wood, water, ice, metal, or even a jungle. I honestly don't know how to explain it, but it's something along the way of the vibration level alongside the sound effects. It's really something unique. I genuinely don't know how to explain it other than that. Last but not least, the wind effects also apply a different level of pressure when you're in a windy area or a snowy area. Now on to the last room that I left behind without explaining, and that is the speedrun room. This is an area where you can compete worldwide and place a speedrun record. There are 8 different tracks so far, 4 of them being simply platforming, where you have Astro and you try to rank and reach the final goal, and the last 4 are based on the mini transformation you get along the gameplay. These transformations are the monkey, the rocket, the ball, and the jumping rope. Again, this is a speedrun session, so your task is to reach the finish line as fast as you can. In case you're hunting achievements, out of the 8 maps you have to finish all 8 stages with a total time below 7. It may sound hard, but trust me, it's easy. To sum up, this is a fantastic game with a lot of fun to be found in it. I definitely fell in love with it. You don't have to pay anything if you own a PS5 since the game is already pre-installed. As of now, it doesn't have a PS4 release and I doubt there's ever gonna be one. It is definitely worth your time and it's a game you should max out on collectibles to have the entire PlayStation history on your PS5. If you're a trophy hunter, the game can be played in 5 hours or even less. I 100% recommend you give it a try. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments below what's your favorite Easter egg, what's your favorite artifact, and what's your favorite game reference. For me, it has to be the sound of the PS2 opening in the SSD road, the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII, and the trophy bots in the museum. Take care and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya!